our Security and Defence Editor, Deborah Haynes, who is talking to us about the situation in Iran after those Israeli attacks. Deborah, very significant attack by Israel. This was clearly a well-coordinated attack, sometime in the planning, wasn't it?
Yes, and Israel's made no secret of the fact that it is increasingly alarmed at Iran's nuclear program, believing that the Iranians were getting ever closer to this breakout moment of being able to have a feasible nuclear bomb that would then pose an existential threat to Israel. The timing is really key. As you were hearing from Dominic just now, the Americans are, they're in the midst of trying to have some kind of diplomatic negotiation with the Iranians, and they didn't seem, well, they've been trying to put off Benjamin Netanyahu from his clear desire to take preemptive action to strike Iran's nuclear facilities. The fact that the Israelis have weighed up the risks, they know that they have managed already to degrade a lot of Iran's key allies in the region, Hezbollah, principally in Lebanon, over the last year. They've also been able to take action with previous strikes into Iran to degrade Iranian air defences, giving its jets a safer route in and out of that country's airspace. And now, clearly with the potential for some kind of diplomatic solution on the horizon, which presumably the Israelis would not have approved of, they believed that the risk was worth taking to strike. They knew that Iran was exposed and that they could strike, knowing that Iran will retaliate, but hoping that because of their action that they have been taking over the last year and more, that the retaliation will be something that Israel is able to absorb. The communications that have been going out to Israeli civilians to prepare to stay in bunkers, to stay close to their homes, to be prepared for what comes next is pretty stark. And I think that really underlines the fact that they are bracing themselves for the kind of large-scale missile strikes that we saw last year happening twice by Iran in retaliation to previous, much more limited Israeli strikes. This time around, Iran will need to do something bigger in order to show that it still has that capability. But when it comes to that kind of tit-for-tat escalation, then depending on how Iran is going to calculate this, is it only going to target Israel, or is it going to go wider? If it only targets Israel, Israel still has greater capability to strike back, even though Iran is obviously so much larger. And so when it comes to tit for tat, there will be a lot of damage on both sides. But the assessment from analysts I've been speaking to is that ultimately Israel should be able to withstand that. So this is a moment of huge crisis for Iran, and we wait to hear what the leadership say.